Hey everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. In today's video, I'm sharing how to analyze a Bazi chart if your daily master is a Yin Fire, called Ding in Chinese, born in the summer season. Because the dominant element for summer is fire, so even though Yin Fire is more like a softer candlelight or moonlight, it gives out this gentler, softer impression, but that doesn't mean it's weak. So because position number 6 is a very strong, fiery type of energy, it gives a good supporting and rooting system to make this daily master strong and powerful. So how that translates into the personality is that summer-born Yin Fire people are very confident. They trust themselves and trust their own abilities, and they're not easily influenced by other people, so they kind of stick to their own point of view. And when they have a goal in mind, they'll just take action to achieve their goals. They're not procrastinators. So the first summer birth month is called Si in Chinese. It's a Yin Fire type of earthly branch that equates to the birth month of May. So because of the two solar terms, it's the start of summer and before the grain is fully harvested. So it's a kind of that paints the external environment this daily master lives in. As I mentioned in the spring-born Yin Fire series, like the reason why it likes a combination of wood and metal is all about how do you build the stage with the remaining players of your Bazi chart to best showcase the strength of this focal point. And what are the strengths of this focal point in fire? There are two. One is that softer, comforting warmth, and the second is about elevating and refinement. Those are the key words. So imagine you have like a big rock of just raw mineral rock you just grabbed from underground. How do you change that into precious metal? That's from throwing it into a constant, steady temperature environment, right? So you can refine and elevate it into something useful. So that's the second strength and the purpose of this Yin Fire element. So keeping those as our goal here, if your Bazi has a fairly strong yang wood because wood supports fire, it's about sustainability. It gives this constant, steady food and nutrient to keep this fire steady and going. And then on the condition this fire is quite strong and not overly strong, but in kind of this balanced stage, but leaning more like to the strong kind of index. That's what the role this wood plays. On that, once that condition is met, then you want to introduce this young metal that represents that raw mineral rock, because that will make this Yin Fire useful. That's the meaning of its existence, is to refine and elevate this into precious metal. So that's why this combination pair works well. If your Bazi chart has those players, it's a very good starting condition to be a very good Bazi chart, which means your just life is smoother, you're easier to kind of accomplish your dreams and goals in life. And another angle to think about it is actually between the two, this wood is more important than this metal, because without the wood, the fire might die or extinguish. Then I need to make sure I'm in a very strong and steady place before I do the extra work of refinement and elevation. Another thing is, if you shove too much wood to a burning fire, you might actually run the risk of distinguishing the fire. So it's all about the dosage and the right amount of quantity. Let's say your Bazi chart, you see this wood player, but what if you have way too much of it, maybe position 7, 8, or 2, right? So you have like a strong earthly branch and is also connected to the heavenly stem top row. So that wood, it could be too strong. In that case, if you shove too much into a little burning fire source, you might actually put it off. So you can view this metal as an act of trimming the wood into more useful pieces so it doesn't suddenly overwhelm the fire. So that's another angle to see their partnership and why they're paired together as favorable element. And the next one is a birth month of June. So position number six will look like this, called Wu in Chinese. It's a Yang Fire type. So that's the prime energy of Yin Fire. It has a very good and useful strength. So in that case, I don't need this wood to keep on feeding into me. Then I run the risk of being too hot. And then you melt this metal immediately rather than refining it. So in that case, I'm ready. My temperature is already pretty warm and steady. So you just give me this material to make me meaningful. And a secondary favorable element is water, because water will kind of cool it down and keep the temperature consistent, so you don't run the risk of throw a mineral rock into a big burning fire. It'll be melted immediately versus being refined. And the last birth month is July. That's called Wei in Chinese. It's a Yin Earth, earthly branch type. It's a dry earth type as well. So because it's after summer solstice, this solar term, so even though this is a transitional month from summer to fall, so in terms of elements, qi is transitioning from fire to metal. And after the summer solstice pivotal point, your qi for fire is going downhill. That's the trend line. So in that case, I'm going back to my friend again. I need this sustainable source to keep myself steady and strong. And the reason I want to be paired with water is there's a higher risk of running too dry. So if I have a dry earth on top of a fire, if I throw wood in there, it might be burned off immediately. So I need this water to support the wood, to cool down the temperature, so that wood can do its job to keep this fire sustainable. So that's why wood and water are combined together as favorable elements. But honestly, those are just what the ancient book says are the standard answers. But in practice, when you look at different Bazi cases, there are other answers that are still different patterns, and that will make the person's life still a good Bazi chart. So the next episode, I'll share some case studies. Some might follow this logic, some might not. So it can kind of expand your knowledge base about what other options are available to make a Bazi chart good. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.